Okay, so it's finally 2023. It's a new year, it's a new you, it's a new time for a new house, or maybe just a less cluttered one. So, we're all guilty of having some sort of clutter in our house. So, I've created a 7-day clutter program for you. And it's okay if you can't do them all in 7 days. You can do one per week, you could do one per month. It's whatever fits into your schedule. So day one is the kitchen. So you're going to have, in all of these declutters, you're going to have a donate box, you're going to have a trash box, you're going to have a keep box. And for the kitchen, you're going to go through all the drawers and all the cabinets and go through and get rid of any appliances that don't work or appliances you don't use that often, and you can put them in the donate box. And at the end of the video, I will have links available for you to visit locations that you can drop off your gently used kitchen items that you don't use anymore. So the next step is to do the pantry. In the pantry, you want to go through and get all the expired items out and toss those out. Anything that you don't typically use on a regular basis, or perhaps you got BOGO and you realize you didn't really like that item, you can go ahead and put that into a donate box and donate to a local food pantry. So on the second day, or let's go back to the kitchen. For the fridge, you want to make sure you clean it out, get rid of all the old food, and just do a major scrub down. On day two, you're going to work on the bedrooms. So for adult bedrooms, you're going to want to go through all the closets, go underneath the beds, nightstands, get rid of any old mail, or go through um, any clothes that you don't wear. Any clothes that you don't wear, please feel free to drop them off at the donation places such as the Christian Care Center in Leesburg or other charities that are in the vicinity that look for clothing donations such as Habitat for Humanity. So the other thing that you want to go through, get rid of any jewelry that you don't wear on a regular basis. You also want to go through the shoes. I know that's hard for a lot of people because they have tons of shoes, but it's really, it also repurposes them, and somebody else will have shoes that they didn't have before. Um, so for kids' rooms, the rule of thumb is to kind of go through and make sure you have maybe one extra bedding set just in case you need it because the other one's in the wash or something. That's a great idea. The other thing is you want to make sure that um, they don't have too many toys. So only make sure that they have the toys that they actually play with and donate the rest. Or if they're in really, really bad condition, you might consider tossing them out. Or you could even put it on a Facebook marketplace or one of the local resales in the area. So the next one is day 3, which is the office. And your office could be such as like any appliance, like any computers you don't use anymore, or computers that they're still working but you never really use that often. You could donate it to the local Christian Care Center in order to have them repurpose it for some of their residents who may need them. Another option is to go through all your receipts, all your mail, get rid of everything that you do not need. Make sure if you do need to keep them that you put them in like manila envelopes or some sort of envelope system that you label clearly as to what they are. And again, kind of go through and just kind of figure out what files you need and what files you don't need. Okay, so day 4 is going to be working on our family room, our living room, entryway, and our laundry room. And oh my goodness, was that not a mouthful to say? So for your laundry room, go through, make sure there's no empty laundry containers. If there are, recycle them. And if you have any, just if you keep a lot of your cleaning supplies in there, go through your cleaning supplies, see what you use, what you don't use, kind of filter them out, toss out anything that's empty, because who wants empty bottles hanging around the house? But I do know that happens. And try to use some organizing techniques to kind of clean it up a little bit, so then it's easy and you feel so much better the fact that it's organized. That will be in a later blog post this year, so stay tuned. The next area would be like your entryway. That's usually a catch-all place. Like, we throw our keys down, we throw our book bags, our purses, our laptop bags, they all kind of go in this area. So if you have any kind of entryway furniture, be sure to clean it out and ensure that there's no junk there. And if you have junk drawers, clean them out. Make sure that you throw any pens away that don't have any ink in them, markers, whatever the heck you have. Um, if it's there and you don't need it, get rid of it. So the family room and the living room, a lot of people have maybe unused DVDs. You could get rid of those. I'm not going to diss you if you keep them, but make sure that they are neatly organized. And another thing would be to have check any consoles that you have, end tables, coffee tables. Just clean them out, because they do eventually accumulate a lot of trash. And again, there's probably junk drawers somewhere in one of those rooms too. So just make sure that you have exactly what you need in those rooms and nothing really major excessive. So, day number 5 is going to be bathrooms. Oh my goodness. Okay, so pull out those cabinets and you are going to grab just the bare minimum towels that you really need in there. I mean, come on. Do you really need 20 towels in that guest bathroom? No, you don't. Unless you have a 20-bedroom house, and in that case, you probably have almost 20 bedrooms or bathrooms. So you want to clean out the bathroom. So open those cabinets, go through them, find out how many towels you could get without. Soaps, do not have 100 billion soaps down there unless you are a hoarder or you stockpile. Then just make sure it's nice and neat and organized. And if you have kids, make sure there's not 20 billion bars of soap in the shower and bathtub. Make sure like there's only 1 or 2 bars of soap along with 1 or 2 things of shampoo and conditioner if your kids use different ones. And make sure like it's all tidy. Bonus points if you have medicine cabinets and you can keep those toothbrushes and toothpaste in the medicine cabinet so they're not hanging out on the counter. The less on the counter, the better. So it's best to have just soap and a hand towel, pretty much, and then have everything else up. So go through your bathrooms and kind of go through that routine. Now, day 6. Day 6 is going to be basements and attics. We don't really have basements here in Florida, but there are occasions where there are basements, and the attics, you really don't want to be storing too much stuff. So this should be a fairly light day. So attics, you don't really want to store too much because of the heat. It will destroy whatever is in the attic usually, especially over time. Things will deteriorate due to the heat. So just kind of make sure that what's in the attic could withstand the heat. A lot of people store Christmas trees up there, and that's okay. So just kind of make sure that whatever you have up there, that it's going to be okay, especially in the heat. Basements, like I said, there's not too many down here, but you want to kind of go through and filter out the junk. Do you really need the ice skates from 30 years ago? Probably not, unless they're 1 pair. Now, if you have 30 pairs of skates, you might want to consider parting with about 29 of those, if not all 30. Again, you want to go through and kind of sort out what you need, what you want, and then what you're going to donate, and then kind of go through your wants and kind of figure out what you really, really want to keep. All right. And finally, day 7 is finally here, and I saved the worst for last. Don't worry. So we have the garage. Who hates going through the garage? Me. Okay, it's usually the most cluttered place in the house is usually the garage because everything just kind of gets thrown in there. So you want to make sure that you kind of organize, and even while you're cleaning and decluttering, do you really need all those tools? If not, then that's fine. Separate the ones that you do use from the ones that you don't use, and put the ones that you don't use into the donation box. The ones that you do use, organize them, put them in a toolbox. Garden items, you want to make sure that you don't have all the little plastic containers from whenever you plant plants, because honestly, are you really going to use those again? Probably not. So you kind of want to sift those out and send those to recycling. And just anything else that you have stored in your garage, all the knickknacks and whatever else you may have, holiday things, go through them and figure out if you really need them. Label them if you are going to keep them, and then put them on some storage shelving. Again, in a future blog post, we will have some links up for you for the best organization items for your home. Well, hopefully that helps you for today, and you are able to really get a hang on the decluttering for this year of the 2023. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.